die is set, but Alberta ain't ready to kneel just yet. They chose their king, their power was met, but we don't answer to Ottawa yet. No crown gave us what we've earned, just dirt and fire and lessons learned. Now the ground it shakes, the steel it groans, and Alberta walks alone. We ride sovereign steel through fire, through frost. We ain't the last, we're the line they lost. Alberta stands, never on its knees. A nation born in the forge of the free. From the rigs to the rails, the crops to the code, we lit their streets, we bore their load. They laughed at pride, they mocked the West, but freedom don't die, it just waits for the test. The cowboys ride, the farmers rise, 5 million strong under open skies. No leash, no lie, no foreign throne. This land is steel and it stands alone. We ride sovereign steel through fire, through frost. We ain't the last, we're the line they lost. Alberta stands, never on its knees. A nation born in the forge of the free. Can't kill the mountain, can't drown the plain, can't burn the spirit that won't be chained. He stares down east with a calloused hand and says, this time we draw the line in the land. We ride sovereign steel through fire, through frost. We ain't the last, we're the line they lost. Alberta stands, never on its knees. A nation born in the forge of the free. The ballots have been cast, the die. Welcome. It's 7-Eleven Daily Summary of the Bruce Show. I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I apologize for the bit of a glitch there. I had have you ever gone to do something that you were all ready to do and then you needed to put your password in last second? You're like, oh my God, I got a live show here. I don't need to put my password in again. Anyway, so that's what happened. But I am grateful that you're here. What an extraordinary time to be alive. Are you excited? Don't all shout at once, but I am very excited. If you don't already know that, I am so pumped to be here with you and this opportunity that we have. We are doing it for your children. We're doing it for
everyone's children. Even if you don't like me or the Alberta independence movement, we are doing it for everyone's children. This is going to be an amazing place to live. Well, it already is. It's pretty damn awesome. But we want to make it even better. Ridding ourselves from the anchor weight of Ottawa and some of their self-serving decisions. Right, we're going to get into that. But I always want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Make sure to get this out. Share it to your social media, your friends, and your family. We have got to get more people to wake up. First of all, we got to get more people to sign the petition. And anyway, so here we are. I also want to say thank you to local businesses and in this process of becoming who we are, especially over the last 5 years, I've realized, not just in the last 5 years, but we've got to create almost like a parallel network, so that we can survive and thrive when things go wrong and when governments clamp down on us. We're going to get into talking about the governments here tonight as well. But so as far as supporting a local business, I have a new business that I love to support. It's called Thousand Hills, and they are a tallow skin cream, a local business right here in Calgary. I'm really, really proud of the work that they've done. Some really great products. My family and I like to use their products. I'm not huge on anything like that, but using this beef tallow and the processes, it's very clean. You'll love it. Anyway, I've got the website up here. We've got a couple because we obviously need to get people out to stayfreealberta.com, but also 1000 Hills ab.ca and local business here. All right, you guys, we're going to get into unscrewing some news. I come to you from the heart of the battle-ready nation of Alberta. We're bringing you truth and optimism. Our goal is to break free from the media globalist mind control. It is January 16, 2026. This is episode number 254 of the Daily Summaries. And this is called Petition Signing Clears Our Way from the NWO, the New World Order. If you're a CBC watcher, you probably never heard that term before. If you love CTV News and everything about them, you probably have never heard of the NWO or the New World Order or what it stands for. But it is not a wrestling term. And Mark Carney stepped in some doo-doo I think it was yesterday actually, but the video sort of circulating today. We're going to get into that. Anyway, I am so honored to be here to get through some of this stuff. We're going to unscrew some of these things, and let's get right into it. Right. Obviously, I started talking about the NWO. Oh, you know what? Before I get started, I want to say thank you to Fergus Hodgson, who guest hosted last night. The very first opportunity, a historical moment in time here at Unscrew the News. I had a guest host sit in for me, and he did a bang-up job. I thought he really, really hit it out of the park. I know that he said that he had some issues with some of the technical stuff and sharing pages and sharing posts and that sort of thing. But here's to you, Fergus Hodgson. Good job. Nice work. Thought that was awesome, and I was very excited to have him do that. And I think if you guys like it, I always want to hear your comments. So if you can reach out to me, share a comment on YouTube, Rumble, X, whatever your platform is. You can also email me at unscrewthenews@proton.me. I would love to hear your comments. I'd love to have Fergus back, and I think we're working on dates that he can sit in and get more comfortable doing this. And we'll have a bit more spice added to the Unscrew the News sort of platform. Anyway, all right, I'm going to bring this up here because this is where I want to start off the night. Laura Ingraham reposted this today, it looks like. Laura Ingraham from the Ingraham Angle and Fox News, you'll remember her. She says, another reason we need to take control of Greenland, this fool is opening the door to CCP to our north. And I replied, he's not opening the door. He already has, and he's just actually expressing this in the open now, because it's all been known for many, many years here in Canada anyway. I want to play this because, in case you haven't seen it already, because I'm sure it's circled the earth 3 times already, but Scott Moe's face in this is absolutely mind-blowing. Just watch this.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us.
And they're all bobbing their heads like they have to. Oh, we're going along, whatever this dildo says to, the Chinese, and he's going to sell us out. We got to bobble our head just like we're approving of everything that he says. Watch this.
Us up well for the new world order.
Scott Moe, I think, had a little shit in his pants at that point. What do you think? All right. Well, I don't know what you have to say. I mean, this numbskull, this Nimrod sitting beside him, she's a lawyer, but I don't know if she has 4 brain cells that are rubbing together inside of her skull, but she is the best that we have here as a representative for Canada. Eek. All right, I want to go to this one now. I'm going to share this from Ryan Garrettson. He's got some great posts sometimes, but Carney got asked what he meant when he said New World Order. So I've just pushed it ahead a second or two to the 11-second mark, and we're going to jump in just after he asked that question.
Was this partnership with Canada and China, this new partnership, sets us up well for the New World Order. What did you mean by that? What is the New World Order?
Well, it's a great question, Brian, because I think the world is still determining what that order is going to be. And let's be clear what we're talking about first and foremost, which is what is going to govern global trade? What is the role of the WTO going to be? How important are bilateral deals such as the one we're developing, plurilateral deals, if I can use that term, Trans-Pacific Partnership?
Word salad is basically what he's got. Word salad-itis. Word salad-itis. Carney, you could take a shot for that. I'm sure that you can get some cream that can take care of that word salad-itis that you've got going on. But obviously this fool is certainly not fooling any of us into thinking that he's working for us. Isn't your job as a representative of Canadians to work for Canadians? And you've embarrassed Canada by, with your elbozos, the elbozos, and you obviously given the bird to Donald Trump and the United States, our biggest trading partner. And now you're going to go over and suck up to Xi, the China influence. Really, they've infiltrated Canada already. This is just the icing on the cake. Is that maybe even people from CBC might even notice this now. All right, I want to go to Mario Zelia because he has a pretty good take on this. So I'm going to share this with you here. But he says the Court of Appeals just ruled that the invocation of the Emergencies Act was in fact illegal. Huge embarrassment to the legal party of Canada. Interesting. Let's just listen to this. It's 2 minutes, 56 seconds, and well worth it.
Huge embarrassment for the Liberal government. The Court of Appeals of Canada just ruled that the invocation of the Emergencies Act by the Liberal government was indeed illegal. For those who don't know, a court already deemed that. They said that the use of the Emergencies Act was illegal and it shouldn't have been done in the first place. The government could not live with their defeat, so they appealed it. They would not accept the court's decision. So the Court of Appeals today, well, they just ruled that it is in fact illegal. They weren't able to actually use the Emergencies Act the way they did during, the trucker protests. And sorry, I'm not going to use a special particular type of a flu word, otherwise this video is going to get buried. But anyways, for those who don't know, the idea of using the Emergencies Act came from a certain individual that was advising the government at that time. In fact, they wrote an article titled, "It's Time to End the Sedition in Ottawa by Enforcing the Law and Following the Money." Guess who wrote it? None other than our own current Prime Minister, Mark Carney. This is the point of inception. This is where the idea was conceived. And don't think Mark Carney is new and he's some sort of an outsider. He's been advising the Trudeau government for nearly 6 years.
Sorry about that. I lost you for a second.
The court net zero policies on the invocation of the Emergencies Act. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Shout out to the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms. These guys are probably my favorite not-for-profit in Canada because they fight for what's right and they fight for justice. They provided lawyers for 4 Canadians who participated in the Freedom Convoy and who challenged the invocation of the Emergencies Act in federal court. They were granted standing before the Public Order Emergency Commission, where lawyers cross-examined Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and other senior government officials under oath. Since that time, they've continued to fund the legal defense of dozens of Canadians, including Chris Barber, who were criminally charged simply for peacefully exercising their charter rights during the Freedom Convoy. The whole thing was a witch hunt. The government loses. Canadians and freedom and what's right and just prevail today. This is an unbelievable defeat to the Liberals and to Mark Carney. Losers.
Right. Right you are, sir. And I'm going to bring this next one up from yournews.com. Amid Trump's tariff rose, Canada announces tariff relief on China's electric cars from 100% to 6.1%. China to relax tariffs on Canada's agro products. I personally, I don't know. I looked at some of these Chinese EV cars. I just don't know. I personally, I'm kind of excited about the opportunities because they're pretty inexpensive bringing them in, or they're pretty expensive as far as an EV is concerned. But really, do I want to own an EV? I don't think so. I don't really want the government to be able to shut off my car, and that's the biggest thing. But there would be an annual cap of 49,000 vehicles on Chinese EV exports to Canada, growing to about 70,000 over 5 years. China will reduce its total tariff on canola seeds, a major Canadian export, from 84% to about 15%, Canadian Prime Minister told reporters. Well, this is nothing new. Laura Ingraham and all the other influencers, I think Cat Turd was mentioning him as well. Lots of American influencers speaking about this Carney crap. Really, he is just selling us out because he is not Canadian. Everything that he has done has been for Brookfield, which is completely American. His family lives in New York. Yeah, I mean, what do I say? Anyway, it just fuels the fire. Honestly, it fuels the fire for Alberta to leave the sinking ship, which is Canada. And so I've got a couple of other videos queued up from some X posts here. One of them is from David Creighton, And this will be Jeffrey Rath here.
You know, like how often in somebody's life do they actually have a realistic possibility of being involved in creating a new country? I mean, it's, you know, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's so exciting. And I have to tell you, every night that I go out now to these events and I see, you know, literally thousands and thousands of my fellow Albertans so excited. And a lot of them, it's like kind of this steely look on their face and this determination that this is going to happen. Like there's no putting this back in the bottle, right? You know, I mean, everybody understands that this is going to be, you know, this could be our last chance to get it done because, of course, you know, they're doing everything they can, you know, to destroy our movement, to flood our population with, you know, flood our province with, you know, people from the third world, you know, who are literally being given more money than our pensioners, you know, to come to our country and live in our communities and make rents unaffordable for our children and take our kids' jobs and all the rest of it. So, you know, a lot of us feel that this is the last chance that we're going to have to be able to vote Alberta out of Canada and to become an independent country. So people are determined to make this happen.
Well, I think as I said this afternoon, I've watched independence movements ebb and flow over the years, not just in Alberta, but for Western Canada. And it was always sort of seen as a fringe movement, something that was not going to happen. But as you're saying it today, and I confirm this looking at the polls, 45% in many cases and higher of Albertans are now saying they want an independent Alberta. I find that to be incredible. I don't think that knowledge has sunk into the legacy media or the federal politicians, how close this is. But as you said, this is, I think, an opportunity that many Albertans are going to grasp, and it potentially is going to go their way.
Well, see, and just the other week, and I'm glad you brought up the polls, just the other week, CBC was calling me about some phony Liberal poll that had support for independence in Alberta at 19%. And it's like, oh, why are you spending all your time on this? Only 19% of Albertans favor independence. And I just laughed. I said, that poll's a fraud. The ground. I said, the numbers that we're seeing are in excess of 40-45%. And, you know, to quote, you know, my new friend Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, when they started the PQ referendum campaign in 95, before, you know, that resulted in a 49 point whatever, almost a 50% vote that would take Quebec out of Canada, they started that referendum campaign at 30%, right? But, and keep in mind, we're only in week 2 of the petition process. And that's what the numbers have done, as other Albertans see the determination of their fellow citizens to, you know, to support a free and independent Alberta, right? It's now become literally the national conversation of the country of Alberta is when can we get the hell out of Canada, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Jeff Roth. Did I miss something there? Hang on one second. No, that was my plan. Hang on one second. I'm going to move on to this one. So Michael Tomlinson was out today, and I thought I'd just highlight some of his posts on X. And here he is signing it for my kids, Free Alberta. And this is him in Okotoks. So this is how Albertans are spending their lunch break in Okotoks today, waiting to sign the Stay Free Alberta petition. And he had said that there was, it wasn't even noon, and there was 100 or so people waiting to get in there. That is fantastic to see. And he said it got even more people. Hey, JJ, why not come? JJ McCullough is saying that just one guy. That's right. There are about 100 people in the lineup prior to the petition signing scheduled to begin at noon. And then he said, the lineup grew rapidly. There's a few hundred here now waiting patiently. So wonderful to see Michael Tomlinson. Good on you for signing. And I'm going to move on to the next tab here. This is from the rise of Alberta. Alberta's resource economy funds the federal system where provinces can block development without bearing the cost. The cost is transferred to Alberta families through lost opportunity and rising debt. Independence ends forced wealth redistribution. Let's listen to what Keith Wilson has to say here.
% of the revenue of the provincial budget for the province of Manitoba comes from equalization, mostly from Alberta. 20% approximately of the revenue of the provincial budgets of Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick also come. So they're going to be sitting at the negotiating table watching Sugar Daddy say, bye-bye, right? Where are they? So they're going to have a problem. Now, we've given them lots of chances to figure this out and to stop opposing us from developing our resources and stop voting in governments that throw their knee on our economic neck and deprive our children of a prosperous future and indebt them with this out of control spending. But they've chosen the course that they're on, not us. Approximately 20% of the revenue.
Well said there, Mr. Wilson. All right, I think there was something else I wanted to show you here. Let me see. Kevin Passetti, this is in response to Cat Turd. He says, Alberta needs to get the hell out of this shit show pronto. Spread the word. Tell everyone you converse with. Everyone sign the petition for the future of your kids and grandkids and every generation beyond that. Amen to that. This is in Fleet. So this was actually last night from Jason Levine. We have a full house in Fleet here to talk Alberta independence. In this crowd, about 20% are registered canvassers. Okay, so that was all I wanted on that one. And on this one, I was going to go scroll through a bit. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just, oh, sorry, you can't see this one. Okay, Stay Free Alberta. Plan your Saturday. So Saturday, this is tomorrow. So if you want to plan out your day from 9 until 2 in Water Valley, 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. in Egremont Community Hall, that's in Thorhild County. And then 10 o'clock till 4, this is going to be in Edmonton. I'm going to the one in Okotoks. So I'll be going to Okotoks tomorrow. That's from noon until 8 o'clock at night, the same place that Michael Tomlinson had been at. It's the Viking Center, I think is what it's called. All right, Cricket Lives Matter, who had been missing from the internet for a little while here. I appreciate you coming back because we do like your post. Wow, I did digging on Brookfield and donations. You folks aren't going to believe what I found. I just need to do a few more confirmations. I will also post it in my highlights tab so you can find it easily. Part of it is already in the tab, but the next post is very interesting and very scandalous. Let's just take a look and see. That's the long-awaited update. What did you say in highlights? Brookfield and Civic Action donor. A few people asked me about Brookfield Coastal First Nations. If Brookfield donated to them, so far have come up empty-handed. Oh, digging on, here it is. Interview with George Soros. No, that's from January 14th. Let me see if there's anything else in here. All right, well, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Let's see if we can see something else come up from that. All right, Chris Workington, breaking. Mark Carney is changing the law so you can't find out what his government is doing. Dun, dun, dun. As if it hasn't been bad enough. If he's hiding what he's doing, it clearly isn't for the benefit of the Canadians. Wow, yeah, that's new information for us, right? Federal managers have issued new guidelines for concealing records effective January 26th, including permanent deletion of chat posts within 15 days. The policy follows Prime Minister Mark Carney's election pledge that access to information was quite important. Quite important to hide is what he meant to say, not quite important to make sure that people had the opportunity to see it. Which, keep it down, everyone. All right, let's see if there was something else. Oh, I did want to bring this up only because I had seen this. I looked into this. This is, from what I can tell, true. I looked into this. It is true. Act accordingly. Breaking, the U.S. Mint now knows the price action that is coming with silver. They just massively raised their prices, $173 for proof and $169 for silver eagles. I mean, silver. Oh, look at that nice picture of Chris Barber and Big Red. Sweet. I'm going to bring this up here, the silver price, just so we can compare. So this is the silver price at the minute, $125.46 per ounce of silver in Canadian dollars. Let me just see what this is in US, just so we can compare. That's $90 US. That is just insane that we're at that. They talked about the $80 cap being, a barrier that probably wouldn't be met for a while. All right, now I want to move on to something else that has been bothering me for the last little while. Have you noticed, if you watch any TV, or maybe it's on the internet as well, but do you remember the Canadian Heritage commercials that used to play? Well, this is one of them that I've seen a fair bit, and it just seems timely, very propaganda-like. We need to make sure that people feel very patriotic, nation-building. Can I play this for you here? Let me just try and play it.
Built the St. Lawrence Seaway. It led to thousands of jobs and more than $1 trillion of cargo shipped to the world. It's time to build big again with Canadian workers, steel, lumber, and technology. We'll be our own best customer, sell more to the world, and take control of our future. It's time to build strong.
Are you feeling patriotic? Are you feeling like Canada is going to give us a fair shake here in the West? Because this propaganda here is telling you that we're building strong. And they're even showing Calgary on here. Ridiculous. Globalist carnage. I hadn't noticed the post over, or the comments over here. This is how we use our money. Exactly. This is Canadian innovation. And then I brought up this because I've seen a bunch of these as well. And I don't know if this is the one that I saw on the commercials, but this is definitely one of them. But these heritage minutes.
Frank! No, Frank, don't carry it. Dribble it! Dribble it! Frank, dribble it! Frank, shoot!
Is this some kind of Canadian joke, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but we can't carry the ball. How can we get a decent shot at the...
Anyway, there seems to be a lot of this trying to propagandize Canadians into believing that they care about you. Don't you think? I don't know. Maybe you're not seeing it. What else did I want to bring up here? I don't think there was anything else specifically. But I want to talk more about, obviously, Stay Free Alberta, stayfreealberta.com. You got to get out there. This is where to go. So we are no longer focusing on Alberta Prosperity Project. That is the stage that we're past now. We are now moving on to Stay Free Alberta. So you can pass this on to friends and family and neighbors. Make sure that they are well aware of Stay Free Alberta. This will give you all the information. You can see where and how to sign. We'll go through the list right here. So today we had Viking Rental Center in Okotoks, Lone Ridge Community Hall in at Highway 13 and Range Road 263. Also Drayton Valley, James River Community Hall, and then tomorrow, Water Valley and Thorhild County. Also Rundle Park in Edmonton, the Viking Rental Center in Okotoks, Bashaw Ag Society, Buck Creek, Alberta, and then Monday they'll be at, it looks like Alex, Alberta, Let me see what this one is. Will Sinclair Drive in Rocky Mountain House. Tuesday, we're going to be in Cremona, in Hythe, Rocky Mountain House, Fox Creek, and then you can see the rest of the schedule here. So anyway, you know where to find it, but you want to become a canvasser. If you can do it, do it, do it, do it. We need more canvassers. We need more people to sign. We've got to get this number up to 1 million. I believe that that is completely doable before May 2nd. And I don't know, I'm not seeing any comments or questions here. I appreciate you being here. This has been an interesting night. I want to remind you, or I just want to say thanks again to Fergus for sitting in for me last night. That was phenomenal, and I look forward to doing that again. It is critical, and I want to remind you all that we're doing this for our children's children to make this a better world. We can save what we have here, and the rest of Canada will more than likely not be well off. We are a big portion of the success of Canada, and without us and the resources that they want to stifle us from using, I don't see a bright future for Canada. So truly, this is a critical time. So you can't sit on the couch and wonder what happened. This is the time to get activated and get out there, sign the petition. In case, so I wanted to say one other thing about Fergus hosting yesterday. It's an indication, it's a real indication. I've got friends in Kansas. So there's JJ Carroll in Kansas. There's Joy Backless Cruz, and she's in Pennsylvania. There's James, goodness, I'm gonna forget his last name. James down in California. Lots of other countries, lots of other people looking at what's happening here in Alberta. This is making headline news around the world, and we have the opportunity. I know that Fergus talked about this, but we have the opportunity to create a beacon of freedom for the world. You know, what's happened to Argentina with Javier Milei, what's happened in El Salvador with Bukele. Those are great examples of, you know, getting new leaders in and changing things. But we can do that here in Alberta, even greater, because we're going to start from a clean slate. And we'll have the opportunity to listen to all Albertans to make this a great place to be. Law and order, we're going to have a very, very prosperous province. And, being able to give people a hand up. I hope that we can not necessarily end homelessness, because that's kind of I think it's an impossible goal, but we could certainly help many, many more people by being prosperous and successful. And the way that Albertans are giving and charitable, you've never seen anything like it. Like when they have extra money, they are so giving. And you are giving, the people that are here. I appreciate all of you. God bless you all. Let's end this night by just remembering to get out there, because this is our time to shine and to bring. The possibilities are endless. I continue to say this. We have so many opportunities, and we've got to start from a blank slate. So there's some great people, Jason Levine and Bruce Party and Nadine Wellwood. They're doing an Alberta tour, and they're going around and just educating people and answering questions and helping them to understand what nation building looks like, because there is so many questions. There's so many concerns and fear around that. And so, I'm really, really so grateful for this process and what people are going through. This is just such an energizing time. I hope that you're on board and you're recognizing that this is a historical moment in your lives, in your children's lives, and even in your grandchildren before they arrive lives. All right, let's keep doing it. I look forward to being in Okotoks tomorrow. Probably won't have a show because I'm probably going to be doing some lives right from Okotoks. I'm not sure what time I'm going to be there, but look for me the next night. So that'll be Sunday night. And I want to say God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to get out there and sign up that petition. We've got to get to close to 1 million people, because this will really send a message that we're serious about it. When it comes to the referendum, you know, we've got to get about 1 million and 1.6 million or something like that, as far as just squeaking by. And anyway, so I will see you hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some work out of Okotoks. We'll do some interviews. And like I said, come and see me again Sunday night. I'll be here and we'll be talking about the next, let me see, the next bunch of, I'm just taking a look at my schedule. Stand by here. I'm just looking at the schedule, and in case you haven't seen it, sorry, I'm going to backtrack a bit here. Go to unscrewthenews.com. I have now added a schedule of the upcoming episodes, and in here I've got an interview with John Carpe from the JCCF. He's going to be bringing a report that he's done on MAID. And then the 27th, that'll be January 27th, I've got Dallas Brody from 1BC on. And then the 28th, I've got a returning guest, Dan Bermawi. I'm looking forward to having him on again, because we're going to be talking about Israel, Gaza, Bondi Beach shootings, and Muslims in Western society. I've also got another guest coming up. It'll be, let me see, I was just actually conversing with him. Let's see if I've got it. Oh, Shane Wetzel. Shane Wetzel. I think we're going to be meeting on the 22nd. That'll be January 22nd. So that might be the next guest that I have, depending on what happens in the next couple of days. Anyway, if you have any questions about what I'm up to, you can always check me out on unscrewthenews.com. I appreciate all of your time. Thanks for being here. Let's stay sane together. Keep your head on a swivel. This is Bruce, and I'm out of here.
Thank you so much for watching Unscrew the News. I appreciate your participation in freedom in Canada. Share this information and help others to wake up. God bless.